Hi, dear intentional parent. Welcome to this free 2-day class that shows you exactly how you can make your children better communicators in 30 days. That is the topic. Make your children better communicators in 30 days. What you will learn in this class does not promise you everything in the world. This class is definite. This class is fixed in its scope, just as every other practical class. So it is not a class that shows you everything in the world. What do I want you to learn in this class? I want you to understand the power of communication skills. Why communication skills? Why language proficiency? 2, strategies that do not work for your kids. Those strategies may even be popular. You must have been using them long before now, but they do not work in the actual sense. I'll show you those strategies and tell you the reasons why they don't work. 3rd, I want you to be able to pinpoint your child's communication challenges. It should not just be about, oh, this child cannot write. And I saw other children, the people in the class, it should not be about nagging. It should not be about complaining. Can you tell us the exact thing that is wrong with your child's communication, the writing, the speaking, the listening, the reading? What exactly is wrong? If it is creative writing, what do they battle with? Because if you do not know the problems, if you're not acquainted with the challenges, it would be difficult for you to know the solutions. How do you solve the identified challenges? You've now identified the problems. How do you solve them? Now, when you get started with solving them, how do you get amazing results in 30 days? Then I'll give you active resources that will help your kids grow with regard to effective communication skills. Then I'll tell you about my online kiddie school for children, wherein I train children to become fluent speakers, excellent writers, amazing presenters, focused readers, and lots more. Who am I? For those who do not know me before now, others know me, tutor. Who is Tutor Abdulbaqi Hassan? My name is Abdulbaqi Hassan. I am a communication and diction expert, an IELTS instructor, an award-winning editor, the lead tutor at Flying Colors Communications Academy, where we help people improve their communication skills, enhance their communicative competence, and increase their English proficiency level. I studied linguistics as an undergraduate. Later on, I had to brush up on my skills by studying effective communication skills, by studying global pronunciation at the University College of London, then public speaking, language teaching, and everything concerning communication skills and language proficiency. I have successfully helped over 7,000 learners improve their communication skills. I have more than 6 years experience teaching public speaking, correct pronunciation, grammar, accent reduction, and fluent communication. I'm certified by Cambridge Assessment English, British Council, Macquarie University in Australia, and the University College of London. So this class is not about me, so I won't be talking. If I start telling you, I went there, I went for the seminar, I got this training, you won't get enough value. This class is about you, parents, helping you get clarity, teachers, helping you gain more results, amazing, excellent results when teaching your learners. This is why the class is here. So I won't be talking so much about myself. Okay, my Cambridge Assessment English certificate, Abdulbaqi Hassan. This is my WhatsApp contact for those who may be watching this video for somewhere else. Maybe someone sent you the link. This is my WhatsApp contact, the WhatsApp contact for the Academy. If I am not there, someone would be there to reply to your messages. My Instagram username, Flying Colors Tutor. I educate people on social media almost every day, sometimes 3 times daily, depending on my mood and the plan. Facebook, facebook.com. This is incomplete. Abdulbaqi with an H. Abdulbaqi 2. Abdulbaqi without an H is my name, but that's the automatic link generated by Facebook, which leads directly to my Facebook profile. Okay, now I want to get started by telling you my story. Why did I get started with this in the first place? What is the story behind this? When did we get started with online kiddie school? Actually, it wasn't online kiddie school that started my journey with teaching kids. It started fully during my NYC. Most of you should know what NYC is all about. Core members in Nigeria, you have to serve your fatherland. And I was posted to a school because I studied linguistics. And the school, when they saw my certificate, interviewed me. First of all, they asked me to teach civic education, but at a point in time, they had to give me my English, because even in civic education classes, I was telling them, why do they have the citizen should obey and not obeys? I started teaching grammar and effective communication skills, even in civic education. So they decided, oh, let's give this man his English. And my first day in class, I introduced myself. Oh, my name is Abdulbaqi Hassan. I study linguistics, told them about my university education. Since it's my first class, I decided to introduce myself to them and then asked them to give me their own introduction. Introduce yourself, just as in every other situation. It's my first class, so I had to tell them to introduce themselves. Then one of them raised up his hand. Okay, I thought, I initially felt, oh, this boy wants to introduce him. Then he said, I want to ask a question, sir. Sir, Malam, because they call the male teachers Malam and the female teachers Umu. It's an Islamic school, Abu Umu, Malam, for those who weren't married. And this boy told me, Malamu, that is everything you've been saying right from the beginning of the class. I do not comprehend anything. Everything, I do not comprehend anything. And surprisingly, the rest also, my name is Abdulbaqi. Despite the clarity in my speech, they still found it difficult to get what I was trying to communicate. So I thought to myself, where do we start from? I wanted to start phonetics because I just graduated NYC. I wanted to show them it was immediately after my graduation that I went for NYC. So everything was still there: linguistics, phonology, phonetics, for syntactics, semantics. I was like, this school, I must scatter everywhere. But now these children don't even understand me. How will I bring that to reality? How will this come to fruition when they do not even get my name is Abdulbaqi Hassan? So that taught me that, hey, Abdulbaqi, you've got a lot to do. I had to go back to my lodge and started to think, what do I do differently? It means these children need to start from the beginning, from the Fatiha. They need to start from the beginning. I can't just get started with where they stopped in the syllabus because they do not have the foundation. So I created something amazing for them, a new curriculum. Some of the teachers were even say, I hope this, they don't know transcription. Transcription at this stage. We want to introduce transcription for her. They don't do all those things yet. I just told them, please give me a term. First term, just give me this first. This was the first term. So I told them, just give me this first term. If you do not get results at the end of the term, kindly do anything you want. Tell me to do anything and I will follow. Hook, line, and sinker without arguing with you. But now, please, let me do something amazing. And at the end of the term, It was really, really amazing. I have the pictures that was on my laptop, but something happened to my laptop and I couldn't show you our amazing result. Okay, we got amazing results. We even at the end of the term, the parents started calling me. Oh, they always talk about you. You come, oh, thank you very much for what you've done. With regard to the essay writing, I took them practically. What are they doing? What should they do differently? What exact mistakes are they making? How do I help them improve? I put in my power, I dedicate my time, and I got amazing results. In fact, at the end of the session, I already put final touches to my NYC, and during the graduation party, parents started to give me, they came to my seat. Thank you very much. The school gifted me, the teachers contributed money, bought amazing things for me, pots, coolers, a lot of things, gift, food. In fact, when I was leaving the school, the bike person, the motorcyclist that took me from the school to my lodge was asking me, what did you do to these good people? Imagine because I packed a lot of things, and that meant they were really, really interested. After my NYC, I started Flying Colors Communications Academy 2019, and we started with adults. We launched our first course, a 30-day crash course in clear pronunciation and perfect transcription. It was amazing. 2020, I wasn't teaching kids anymore. Later, a family contacted me. This family contacted me, and he told me he actually mentioned the problem to someone. He has 5 to 6 kids. They homeschooled them, everything at home, English, math for primary. Whenever a child is going to secondary school, then they now put that child in a secondary school just as one in a conventional secondary school. But from childhood till primary 6, everything is done at home in this family's household. But they discovered that there is a huge gap that they needed to fill with regard to the children's communication skills and English proficiency. He mentioned it to one of my friends, Sadiq, Adekunle Sadiq, we call him Bariga. And Bariga told, oh, I have a friend who is really, really good at this. He studied linguistics and is now teaching people online. Because of the distance, they decided that I teach the kids online. And we talked, okay, this is what you pay every month. And we started. After a couple of months, the father sent me this. Can you see this? From Mr. Abdulmalik, the first parent whose children were registered at the Flying Colors Online Kiddie School. We never even thought it's going to be a big school with over 100 children. We just started with 3 kids. And the father sent this. I observed a significant improvement in all the 3 kids that I've started classes with you. Abdullah moved from 25th position in class to 2nd, because once the child understands English, the language that forms the medium of instruction, once the child understands communication skills, reading, listening, writing, speaking, it's easy for that child to excel in class. It's easy for that child to take the first position. But in the situation where there is a huge gap to fill with regard to the medium of instruction, the child does not understand English perfectly. You're teaching agriculture, English, physics, English, mathematics, English. How will the child comprehend? So Mr. Abdulmalik told me, Abdullah moved from 25th position to 2nd. Same with Zainab. She moved to 3rd position, I think from 14th. Abdurrahman had grade B in his mock exam for JSS. I know it's primarily due to your grooming. We quite appreciate your effort as we urge you not to relent. Jazakumullah khair. So this actually inspired me to make the school available for other kids all over the world. And this is what we now have. We now have many kids from different parts of the world: Estonia, France, Saudi Arabia, Cameroon, Nigeria, and what have you. This is Uni from Cameroon. His mother paid for 6 months. The 6 months would expire this month, and she already told me, tutor, please send your account number. I want to subscribe for another 6 months, just to tell you the value that they are getting. Every day, reviews always pour in. Reviews, 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 amazing number of reviews. Now, you may want to ask me, why are we even talking about communication and language proficiency in the first place? This is not about telling you about the online kiddie school alone. I want you to gain clarity. How can you get amazing results for your children as well? Okay, that's the purpose of the class. All right, I just want to show you that a lot of things are possible. This is, for example, one of the kiddies that joined in during the holiday, the last holiday challenge. And while live from the first week, from the relative who enrolled her, I've seen a lot of improvement on my sister. Okay, just to tell you that it is important. But some of you may still be wondering, I want my child to learn robotics. I want my child to learn technical. I want my child to improve culinary skill. I want my child to be a good cook. I want English. That is what they've been doing in school. So why should I now say they want to speak well again? Oh, I don't. Now, why should you be concerned about your child's communication and language proficiency? If your child understands effective communication skills, the child will be able to fight against abuse and bullying. The major reason why children are often targeted for sexual abuse is simply because they're more vulnerable and less expressive. When people abuse a child, when elders abuse a child, when the mates abuse them, the first thing they tell them is, if you tell anyone, you are dead. Read 100 stories of children that were raped. Read 100 stories of children that were molested. And go deeply into that story and ask what happened. How did it happen? You will always see this trace. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. If you tell anyone, you're gone. If you tell anybody, you're dead. That is threatening them to keep quiet. The child is less exposed. He said I should not tell anyone. He said I should not. And that's how they become susceptible to abuse and bully. So people tell me, something happened at Tutor Abdulbaqi. I never even knew it could happen to me. My child actually hid that thing from me. And I tell them, it's because they don't have the communication skills. Some of them have the communication skills. They can talk, yes, in everyday situation. You ask them to stop, but they do not have the vocabulary. You do not strike that conversation with them, and that's the reason. Secondly, the reason why you need to be intentional about your child's communication skills and language proficiency is because communication skills will serve them forever, no matter what they want to do. As doctors, engineers, accountants, they need effective communication. They're going to send emails. They're going to make calls. They're going to interact with fellow colleagues. They're going to attend meetings when they become CEOs. They're going to lead teams. Without effective communication skills, they will struggle. As a cook, they need that. If they have products, they need to market the products. They need to market the product. They need to communicate, talk about the values of the product. Some people tell me, Tutor Abdulbaqi, the values that the institution upholds, the value that they themselves bring to the marketplace. Abdulbaqi, my only problem, I have amazing products. In fact, my customers always give me amazing reviews, but I do not know how to communicate that. I will tell them that's the reason why you're struggling. And that problem won't stop until you're able to communicate, or you hire another person to communicate on your behalf. And you know the person's communication can never be like your communication. What if the parents of those business owners, those marketers, those writers, those freelancers, the parents were already intentional with effective communication skills and language proficiency for them? They do not have to struggle. They can talk about their products anywhere. Okay, communication skills will serve your kids forever, no matter what they want to do. Science, arts, commercial, politics, they need effective communication skills. Now, let me tell you about this story. I like the story, and I always tell the stories in many of my communication classes. Nara Hayden, an amazing writer, wrote this book titled Astrological Love. Astrological Love. Okay. Astrological Love did not it did not sell. She made a few sales, and that was all. Just like everyday writer, you know, when you launch a book, you invite family members, and that may be the end of that book. If the book isn't valuable, or you're not marketing the book the right way. That was the same thing that happened to Astrological Love, Nara Hayden's Astrological Love. And she almost forgot about the book until someone who works for New York Times, one of the biggest publishing houses in the world, approached her and told her, I want to buy the copyright of your book. Tell me your price. I want to buy the copyright. And once you sell the copyright of a book, you do not have the rights to that book anymore. Even if you want copies of that book, you need to go to the market and make your purchase. Now, Hayden thought, oh, the book wasn't selling in the first place, so let me sell the copyright. And she sold the copyright. Did you know that the same book that didn't sell the other day sold over 2.5 million copies and became the bestseller? What did the buyer, the person who bought the copyright, what did that person do differently? He only changed the title. The pages are the same, the content the same, the typesetting, everything the same. The only thing that person did differently was to change the title from Astrological Love to How to Satisfy a Woman Every Time and Have Her Beg for More. Just the change in the title resulted into the sales of over 2.5 million copies. Can you see the power of effective communication? So your child may decide to become a writer. Your child may decide to become a doctor. Your child may decide to become an engineer, pilot, anything that you may even feel, what does my child need effective communication skills and language proficiency for? Things like this. Amazing result, skyrocketing their sales, talking about the value of that product, being able to know, how do I title it in a way that will grab the attention of the people that I actually want to attract? Let's move on. Now that we agree, okay, I haven't even asked you, I already concluded that you agree with me. Do you now agree? Have I been able to convince but not to confuse you that effective communication skills and language proficiency are crucial and essential in the lives of both children and adults? Do let me know in the chat box. Let me know in the chat box. Success at your fingertips. Thank you. The tutor's contact in the chat. You want my contact in the chat? Let me type that. Okay. Okay, I just sent my contact. Agreed, agreed. Awesome. Great. Yeah, concur. Exactly. Concur. We learned that in the WhatsApp group. Now that we agree that communication skills are important, what are the common strategies that do not work? A lot of people already know these things. They know, I want my children to be expressive. I want them to speak well. I want them to retain their positions by being able to speak for themselves. But they do not know how to go about it. Sometimes some parents are like, no vernacular in this house, so only English. When you want to speak to my child, just speak English. That is a strategy that may seem to be working, but it doesn't work. it doesn't do what you actually want to do. When we talk about communication skills, we aren't saying goodbye to certain languages because each language has strength. Each language comes with gems. For example, I can speak fluent Yoruba. I can speak Arabic. I can also speak English. I already know the theories of communication. I know the things that I need to do in order to be able to communicate perfectly. And I can now apply those things to my proficiency in Arabic, in Yoruba, and in English. And I keep benefiting from those languages till date. For example, an influencer invited me recently to teach on her page, and she told me, Abdulbaqi, my people are Yoruba. Tutor Abdulbaqi, my people are Yoruba. I want you to speak 70% Yoruba to them and 30% English. Now imagine I do not know how to speak the language, or when I was young, I was told, oh, Yoruba, don't speak Yoruba. It wasn't even possible because my mother doesn't understand English. So we spoke Yoruba at home. Okay, so that is it. Each language comes with strength. Each language has its gems. Each language has its use. Till date, I'm still struggling to learn more languages. And there's some people who are of the opinion that, oh, a tutor, but I hear that if I speak more than one language to a child, the child will not be able to comprehend. The child will be confused. No, that is false. That is false. Ask speech therapist, ask speech pathologist, ask psycholinguist, ask linguist. They will tell you for sure that if 10 languages are being spoken around a child, the child will grow up speaking all those 10 languages fluently, because the mind of the child is empty, tabula rasa. It is what you put on it that continues to stay on that mind. If you put multiple things, if you put lies, children do not know how to lie naturally. They just tell you the reality. But when they know, the last time I told my mother the reality, I was beaten to stupor. What can I do to escape the punishment? That is when the child starts to lie. Okay, I can say black instead of white and change my fate. I can make someone smile instead of crying by saying this instead of that. Okay, so today she starts lying. Tomorrow she says another thing. She says it's working and she becomes a pathological liar. Right from the beginning, everything is clean, everything is pure, everything is clear until you decide to, it is what you now put on the mind child, how you make the child think that the child will see as the correct thing. Okay, if a child grows up in a place where armed robbery, murdering, those heinous crimes that you will say, how will a human being commit this thing to another human being? If a child grows up in a place where that is normal, it becomes normal to the child. Okay, so do not say no vernacular. If every language is original, every language is important, every language is essential. And one of the reasons why many parents opt for this is, if the child starts speaking Yoruba or Igbo or Hausa, the child will not be capable of speaking good English. And no, that is a lie. And you can see examples around you. I am an example. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, an amazing writer, fluent speaker. An example, Wole Soyinka, amazing people you can ever think of. They can speak English and the native languages correctly, fluently. Cyprian Quincy, Chinua Achebe. Those are practical examples that you can just go to Google, read about them. You can even see their videos, the videos speaking Igbo more than their native languages, Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, more than they do for English language, despite the fact that we see them as masters. We read their books in literature classes to study English, literature in English. Yet they can speak their languages fluently, the native languages fluently. So do not have the culture of, do not speak any vernacular. Okay, let me tell you about this research work carried out by Professor Aliu Fafunwa. Education in Mother Tongue, the IFE Primary Education Research Project. What he did was to put children in a class for 6 years, another set of children in another class for 6 years. Class 1, you have English as a medium of instruction, no Yoruba, no Hausa, no Igbo, only just as we have it in our many schools today. Then class 2, in this school, you have to speak Yoruba. Yoruba will be your medium of instruction, your social studies, your agricultural science, everything will be taught in Yoruba language. The textbooks were translated and they carried out the project. After 6 years, did you know that the children that were taught in their mother tongue performed excellently, way more than those children that had English as the medium of instruction? So a lot of researches have also been carried out with regard to this. You can go online to read them. You will never see anyone who is educated, learned concerning psychology, speech therapy, speech pathology, linguistics, psycholinguistics, who will tell you, no, a foreign language should be the medium of instruction. So that tells you the strategy may seem to be working, but it will not work effectively later, especially when your child now needs to speak in his or her native language. Second is the school-only strategy. Some parents are of the opinion of, oh, the school can do it. That's why I'm paying school fees. Are you working on your child's communication skills? Oh, why did I pay school fees in the first place? No, that is not a strategy. The school system is a grouped system. In a class of 30, if 28 children pass and 2 children fail, the school will not feel, oh, something bad happened. Why? Because 28 passed. They've tried enough, and that is the truth. If those 2 children are your children, the school cannot do, it may now be because of the methodology. Maybe your children deserve more attention. Maybe your children need more guides, but because of the way schools are structured, the personalized system may not be there for your child. And everything would be blamed on the child is not brilliant, the child needs to work, the child is playful. You see? So you need to also be involved practically, intentionally, coolly. You need to be asking, okay, you need to ask your child, can you stand there and talk to us? Can you lead this speech? Can you read this? Did you get what I said? Can you write what I just said? Can you differentiate between this and this? You also need to be involved. And some people always, our tutor, with regard to communication skills, we have debates, we have quizzes, we have, they need to go to school in Nigeria. Yes, wait. If you remember vividly, you'll also note that most times the brilliant students represent the whole class. The brilliant student represents the school during those quizzes, debates, and lots more. And this is not the fault of the school. The school is asking the brilliant students to represent them because they also want to get the prize. No one wants to lose. It's not the fault of the school. It may be your fault if you decide, oh, let it be the school's responsibility. You also need to be involved as a parent. Are we still together? I am not seeing anything in the chat box. Are we still together? You need to always be involved. Okay. Things are coming in. All right. Third is the blame game strategy. Some parents, the only thing they do is blame. Why did you score this? Why didn't you do well? Why? For example, a parent sent a voice note to me recently because when you come to Flying Colors Online Kiddie School, we test the child first to know what do we need to work with concerning this child. What do we need to change? How do we improve the child? So the children took the test, the twins, and the mother sent a voice note to me. This is the exact thing I've been complaining about. This is the exact thing. See what they wrote, just 5 lines out of 1 page. They can't write more than this. So I've been asking them to write more. And so I was thinking to myself, Mommy, Daddy, that's not a strategy. Blaming a child, when you blame children for things, they just, especially things that they do not have control over, they just think to themselves, what do I do? What have I done? I am trying. You need to give them what to work with. We can now discuss, are they getting it? What are they not getting? For example, your child is not writing enough. You want the child to write 1 page, the child is writing half page. Blaming the child is not the next thing. How do I teach this child idea development? How do I get someone to teach this child critical thinking? How do I give this child prompts and guides that will help them write a lot of answers, pages, content? You need to stop the blame game. So you are doing this, you are doing that. You can't just see your friend, can't just see your friend, can't just see Taye. It's not a reasonable strategy. You need to get to the root of the matter and then solve the problem. Okay. Now, I want to give you the recipes, the real recipes that always work. They always work. They always work. At all times, they have always worked for me. They worked for me during my NYC. They worked for me when I started my online kiddie school with the 3 kids in 1 family. I got amazing results. They're still working for me till date. I've worked with hundreds of children from different parts of the world, not only Nigeria, Cameroon, Ghana, Saudi Arabia, France, Estonia, a lot. And these strategies always work, never ceased working. So who wants my recipes? Who wants this recipe? Amazing, delicious. Mojisola, iPhone, Rafiat. Great, 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 great. Now, let me tell you, there are just 3 things, 3 simple things that you may not find on Google. It's not copied from Google. They're the things that I use, and they give me amazing results at all times. Number 1, pinpointing the problem strategy. 2, solving the problem strategy. 3, becoming the problem solver strategy. Today, we're going to take 1 and 2. Tomorrow, we take becoming the problem solver strategy, and I give you the template to following those things in 30 days. Okay? If you do not know the problem, getting the solutions will be impossible. This is a typo. Will be impossible. If you do not know the root, the foundation of a problem, knowing how to solve that problem will be difficult. Will almost be, because you do not know the problem, you may start getting solutions that are not going to work for that problem because they're not the solutions tailored towards solving that problem. You have headache, for example, and you went to complain about something else to the doctor, maybe leg pain, and you're given the balm to rub the leg. How will your headache be cured? Almost impossible. So you need to know the problem before getting the solutions. Now, one of the things that you need to do with regards to pinpointing the problem, if you want to know the problem, is by testing the child. You need to ask yourself, what area exactly when we talk about communication skills, we're talking about a lot of things coming together. Public speaking, presentation mastery, confidence mastery, conversational skills, emotional intelligence, fluent reading, creative writing, error-free writing, grammar, pronunciation, clear diction, elocution, a lot of things brought together. You now need to ask yourself, what's my child's exact problem? Fluent reading, creative writing, confidence mastery, error-free writing, presentation skills, vocal projection. Now tell me in the chat box, for example, from what you've noticed, what do you want your child to improve on? Is it active listening? There are lots. Tell me yours in the chat box. So for example, if it is the presentation skills, you still need to ask yourself, with regard to presentation skills or public speaking, what is this child doing wrong? Is it the body language, the use of my child's body language? Is content, getting content ready for the public speeches or presentation delivery? Is it the voicing? Is my child, today we are now going to, yes, yeah, that's a voicing problem. The child can write the speech, the child can demonstrate, but the child does not have the voice. The child has the body language, the child does not have the content, does not have the voicing. The child has the content, the child does not have or the child lacks all. You need to be specific. That will now give you the idea of what you need to do differently. For example, with regard to presentation skills, you can test the child with a practical presentation script. This was a presentation script for my kids during the Eid al-Adha. I gave them these scripts to shoot their videos and send the submissions. Now, you've got your exclamation mark here, right? It means you need to exude emotion here. This is the season of rams. Another exclamation. Yes, it's Eid al-Adha, the festival wherein Muslims across the world mostly slaughter rams. Rams. That is why it is the suitable day to learn the idiom, ram something home. This idiom means to emphasize a point or convey a message in order to make it clearer. That is an example. All the highlighted words in red, they're to call the attention to the correct pronunciation. Instead of festival, it is festival. Instead of that, it is that. Message. And now let's exemplify this, shall we? Let's exemplify this, shall we? The teacher used vivid examples to ram home the message. My aim is to ram home the need for social justice in the society. Eid rams home the importance of sharing and love. Eid Mubarak from us at Flying Colors Online Kiddie School. Success at your fingertips. That's the script. If your child reads, this is the season of rams. Yes, it is Eid al-Adha, the festival where Muslims across the world mostly slaughter rams. You know, this child needs to work on his voicing. When you stand on the stage, when you're talking to people, you do not read things in the same voice. You do not say, this is the season of ram. Yes, it is. You have to be conversational. You need to make them interesting. What do you say in the beginning that will grab the attention from the beginning till the end? How do you sustain that attention? How do you move your hand? How do you demonstrate? Once they stand like a pole, you know they need to do better. Once they start using their hands too energetically, you need to tell them, oh, you need to calm down. It is not, you're not fighting with anyone. This is not a fighting game. This is not your everyday game. You need to calm down and present this better. This is the season of rams. Yes, it's Eid al-Adha. By testing the child, you get to know the exact problem. If it is creative writing, there are a lot of things that come together in order to make our writing creative. Is it the idea development? You feel there is something that needs to happen before another thing happens? Is it the critical thinking? There's some things there that aren't possible. Is it plots? The arrangement of the story itself, you know, not all stories should be the everyday beginning, middle, and end. Sometimes the end needs to come to the beginning so that the attention of the readers would be grabbed. Let's say, for example, we have everyday stories. Let me give you an example. We have beginning, middle, end. And let's say this is the storyline. A mama Coco led B, okay. She gave birth to a baby and none of her sexual partners accepted responsibility, right? C, A, beginning, B, middle, C, the baby grew up and one day he started chasing his mom with a cutlass while threatening to kill her with a cutlass. This is the storyline. If you start with Mama Coco leading this kind of life, oh, people may be bored, but now start with, please, neighbors, help me. My child wants to kill me. The child started to run after her mother. The child started, okay, it's a baby. It's the baby boy, okay, baby girl. Let's make it a baby girl. Oh, the baby boy is stronger. Let's make it a baby boy. The boy started to run after his mother, about to kill her, while the mother was screaming. What could have happened? As a reader, what would you do? Wouldn't you be interested in reading? Wouldn't you be asking questions like, what actually happened? What could have happened? What could have led to this scene? Are you still with me? Are we together? Should I explain? It seems we're not getting it. Yes, captivating, Kitty's Arena, captivating. So not all stories need to start from the everyday beginning. So you need to ask, which is your child's fault? Is the child always starting with once upon a time, there lived a boy who is stubborn, you want the child to actually upgrade. You're 7 years old, you're 8 years old, you're 9 years old. I want you to write amazing stories that are more interesting, not the everyday, Ralia is the only child of her mother. Ralia buys that, Ralia. What about the sentence structure? The mixture of compound, complex. You need to be asking this question. For example, if the problem is about creative writing, is it the plot? Is it the setting? Is it the dialogue? You need to ask this. Is it the punctuation? What's happened? Is it the curation of the characters? Are the characters well created? Do they have amazing features that will make you feel as though you've seen the characters right in front of you? Those are the questions you want to ask yourself when you complain, oh, I want my child to write stories, but my child isn't writing the stories that I find interesting and captivating. Pinpointing the problem strategy is still number one. You need to now get the solutions by making them understand the importance. Some children do not understand the importance of communication skills. They just feel as though you're forcing them to do those things. You now need to make them come to terms with you. Because communication skills, things that they need to exude, They need to be interested before they start exuding those things, being interested in writing, being interested in listening, being interested in reading. Those things are things that they need to be interested in before they do them, not things that are forced, not things that can be acted, not things that should be crammed. They're things that you know when you are interested in getting them right. All right, now let's move to the second. Who will remind me of the second? I told you 3 strategies, 3 recipes. 1, pinpointing the problem strategy. What's the second? What's the second? The second is solving the problem strategy. Solving the problem strategy. After identifying the problem, you do not stop there. You need to ask yourself, how do I solve my child's problem? First of all, you need to create an intentional plan that tackles the identified problem. Second, you need to create a feedback system. Third, you need to track the progress. Are they really progressing? After a week, you should be recording amazing results already. You should notice something amazing. Merging the subject. There are a lot of things with regard to communication skills. I just showed you creative writing. For example, you have critical thinking, you have plot development, you have dialogue, you have characterization, you have setting, a lot of things, not to talk of a child who has a lot of problems, writing, reading, speaking. Under speaking, we have clear diction, we have elocution. Under clear diction itself, we have 44 British sounds, we have stress placement, we have intonation, a lot of things. If you decide to move from one topic to another topic, today, clear diction, a separate topic, tomorrow, creative writing, another topic, everything will be scattered. You need to create a system of how do I bring everything all together? Let me show you this script, for example. This script is teaching clear diction, correct pronunciation. This script is teaching vocal projection. This script is teaching stress placement. This script is teaching presentation mastery. This script is teaching vocabulary development. Ram something home. How do you use ram something home in a sentence? This is the season of rams. This script is also teaching how you voice your punctuation marks. You already have your exclamation mark here, for example. How do you now read a script that has an exclamation mark? How do you read a script when you see your comma? How do you show that you know the meaning of the comma? How do you show that you understand the implications of full stop? This script is teaching everything. But we're not saying today, let's learn full stop. Tomorrow, we made everything all together. If a child submits the video recording saying it's Eid al-Adha, the festival, we tell no. You can see the comma here, Abdurrahman. You can see the comma here, Uni. You need to pause. Now repeat your presentation. The child now says, oh, it's Eid al-Adha, the festival wherein Muslims are. Now that is amazing. Rams, not slaughter rams, rams. That is why it is suitable. No, that is why it is the suitable day to learn the idiom. Ram something home. This idiom means to emphasize the point. Everything all together, merged. If you decide, let me teach everything, full stop, comma, apostrophe, they already know those things before, right? Now, how do you continue to confirm? How do you continue to revise? How do you merge all those things in script? How do you merge all those things in a lesson? You need to start thinking about that because they have a lot. I know schools, they do public speaking separate, dictation, diction. What would you achieve at the end? How many times would you be able to visit an aspect per week? At the end of the day, the things are too separated and the children will see them as being separated. And it may even be difficult in those classes when you separate them, you tend to start teaching them the theoretical aspect. You're not teaching them the practical aspect by asking them to do because you already dedicated that time to teach them that theory. You also need to mix the lessons with what they're already interested in. Is the child interested in football? Is the child interested in cooking? Is the child interested in cleaning? Is it swimming? Is it playing? You now ask yourself, how do I blend those things that they are interested in to my lessons and make them more interested? For a child that is interested in soccer, if that child sees a comprehension passage that has the picture of a footballer or the picture of football, the child will be interested, will want to read. What's this about? This is making, this is the, so you stop playing. Ask, what does my child like? And how do I blend those things into my lesson? Let's take each prompt one by one so that you can gain clarity concerning this. The personalized plan, for example, we drew this plan for one of the kids, for a kid whose major issue was writing. This kid finished common entrance and she did not pass. She did not get the required score that her mom expected, but in her school, she got 99%, 95%, 90% at all times. Every term, one of the best students. But when she started taking external exams, she fails. For example, in the common entrance, she had, in one of the exams, she had 22% over 100. The same child that always got 98, 95, 90%. So the mother was concerned, what's happening to my child? When the mother decided to test the child herself, because the mother is educated, she saw that, oh, my child wasn't doing well right from the beginning. The percentage, the scores my child was getting from the school do not represent the child. They're not the real thing the child should be getting. And the woman went to the school to complain to one of the teachers. What's happening to my child? What's wrong with this child? My child can't write well. Punctuation, no full stop, everything. 3, 5, 6, 7 lines, no punctuation, no comma, no full stop, nothing. Spelling, bad, everything. What should I do with regard to this child? So the teacher asked her, she told me all this. The teacher asked her, don't you know Abdulbaqi Hassan? Because she tried an organization. It's a popular organization, and she complained that there was no feedback. They just bought the iPad or so, they took the class and no feedback. And it was at the end when the subscription was about to finish that they started asking them, how's the class? There was no direct interaction between them and the organization. So the woman was interested in more solutions. And don't you know Abdulbaqi Hassan, Flying Colors? She said, no, I don't know him. The teacher introduced Flying Colors Communications Academy to that woman. And when the woman came, she complained about all this and we drew this plan. These are the issues that the child, that daughter of hers was battling with: letter writing, essay writing, punctuation, spelling, and the use of capital letters, especially in the middle of sentences. Now, these are the problems you now need to reorder. We have teachers, amazing parents, and educators here. How do we restructure this? Which should come first? Let me know in the chat box. Is it letter writing? Is it essay writing? Is it punctuation? Which of these should come first? Spelling? No. The use of letters. The use of letters. When the child starts spelling, the child is going to use capital letters and small letters. So this was what we did to save our time. It's already 9:40. Use of capital letters. Now, when the child starts writing with those capital letters, the child already knows, okay, these words should start with capital letters, no matter where they occur in the sentence. Secondly, you now need to do punctuation. Third, letter writing. Essay writing. They can come hand in hand, depending on your strategy. Fourth, then spelling came at the end because we want spellings embedded in the feedback. Spelling will not be treated as a separate subject. The daughter can already write something, can already write a lot of words, but the inconsistencies with regard to the spelling, sometimes, not as though the child can spell the boy went to the market correctly. So what you need to do in that situation is to make when you teach the child the use of capital letters, give the child, for example, in our own case, for example, we'll send the child audio recordings, okay? Type this: Caller went to meet Ade in Akure. Caller went to meet Ade in Akure. Type that, please, correctly. Caller went to meet Ade in Akure. Kindly type that in the chat box. Caller went to meet Ade in Akure. Caller went to meet Ade in Akure. Caller went to meet Ade. Exactly, Kiddies Arena. Mojisola, amazing. Ade starts with the capital letter. Akure, capital letter. So when the child starts writing, we already, okay, what are those words? You have to, if you want to test this, you send the child audio recordings. That's the best. You can say a lot of things that you feel, a lot of things mixed together. In order to confirm the comprehension of that child, what words? You already taught the child, when you see these words, start writing them in capital letters. They should start with capital letters. You know, audio recordings, when the child listens, the child starts to transcribe, write a story. Everything should confirm the comprehension. As the child writes, you now, okay, what are those words that the child isn't spelling correctly? Then you embed them in the feedback that you're giving to the child. When you teach the child's punctuation marks, comma, full stops, semicolon, M dash, N dash, and so on. After teaching the child, when you test the child, what are those words that the child finds difficult when it comes to spelling them? Letter writing, the same thing. Spellings, you now embed the spelling system into the feedback. Let's say, for example, I marked a French script recently, and I saw something like this: through instead of through. He wrote this instead of this. Now, when you see this, you already know that the child will have problems with words like this throughout. A child that doesn't know how to spell through will also find it difficult to spell throughout. A child that is spelling came this way will not be able to spell other words or come this way, will not be able to spell make. The child will spell make this way. The child will spell Jane this way. The child will spell sane this way. So your feedback would be, come, this is the correct spelling of come. Other words include make, Jane, same, came, name. Those words that have a silent E at their end. You need to give the child the list and start testing the child. But if you want to treat spelling, or you say, oh, let's go and buy Midsummer, let's buy primer. Let's buy. The child may already be conversant with those already. You need to know the exact problems. Then you come up with the feedback system that tells the child the future problems the child may encounter and the solutions to those problems. Oh, it's almost 10 p.m. and I want us to finish the session. We started 8:30. I wanted 9:30, so we almost run out of time. Let's continue. Okay. The child, after 2 weeks, the same child we drew this plan for, after 2 weeks, the same mom called me, that mom who contacted me at first, like, tutor, after a few lessons with my daughter, I was shocked to see the sudden change in her writing. So your writing can be this amazing. She asked her daughter, like, so you can write this well. Because we pinpointed the problems, we came up with the intentional plan, and we got started with the step-by-step process that helped us get results. Solving the problem strategy also includes the fact that you need to have a feedback system. The feedback system is different from the grading or comment system. What do I mean? You do not say you are good, or you are doing well, or that is good of you. You need to tell the child what the child is doing well and what the child needs to do better. You can, oh, good of you. You're able to write up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're able to write up to 7 lines. That is amazing. I know subsequently you're really going to improve. You need to note all these things in your subsequent writing. First of all, your composition. This is my feedback to this writing to one of our kiddies who joined in. Once you join in, you're going to be asked to write, to speak, so we know your level and the problems you may have. First of all, you need to start with your topic, my favorite food. Then when you get started, the first letter of each sentence must start with the capital letter. Can you see my red dot? Can you all see my red dot? Let me know in the comment section. My favorite food is spaghetti. Then we tell the child, no, this is not the spelling of spaghetti. You wrote spaghetti. The child must have been mispronouncing the word, must have been pronouncing the word as spaghetti, and that's why the child is now misspelling the word. It has many types. So we tell the child, when you use certain words, the words already suggest if you're going to have plurals or singulars after them. Many plus plural, both plus plural, a few plus plural, one of plus plural. When there are other words, when you use them, you're already telling us that the word after them will be singular. Article a, article an, one. Are you getting it? Are we still together? You need to have this kind of feedback system that tells the child what they need to do exactly. Step by step, it takes time, but it gives results. What do we want? Results, right? Example, still, this is the child spelling of jollof. It is not jollof, it is jollof. You give the child full feedback that will make the child do better. For example, you commend the child when the child, you commend what the child does well. It's not just about what the child needs to do better, but what, for example, this child compared spaghetti to earthworms. And I told the child, this is an amazing use of simile. This is great. That means the child can think and actually compare what he is writing about with another thing that looks like it. Oh, this is amazing. This is awesome. You really did well. Then you now tell the child, but when it's about what the child isn't doing well, the child may feel like, oh, I am not doing anything right. And the child feels, I am actually pushing myself. And the child may consequently feel bad. Oh, I'm not doing well. So you need to find something good, not just about what the child isn't doing right, but you put more focus on what the child needs to do better, because the major issue, the major goal is helping the child become a better communicator. Solving the problem strategy also involves you knowing that when they fail to get it, you may need to change your style. When the child does not get it, you need to ask questions like, it may be that I have the fault. Let me give you an example. Despite the fact that we have amazing results, I've been running online kiddie school. Some parents have been with us for two years. Sometimes we still struggle with teaching the children certain things. A parent from Canada contacted me and told me, oh, Tutor, I want you to include the rules of Concord in the topics you will be taking the kiddies. I see that my daughter struggles with that and some kiddies in the online kiddie school as well. And we got started with the plan. And you know, for the rules of Concord, we have singular pronouns, singular nouns, plural nouns, those are the subject, singular verbs, plural verbs. When you have boy, singular, boys, plural, right? But it's not the same thing when you have verbs. It's actually the reverse. If you say play, plural verb, it's when you add s that you get your singular. But before we got started, the children understood boy, boys. So when they now brought the same knowledge of boy, boys to play, play. So they would say play, singular verb, plays, plural verb. That at first, when we tested them, this was what they answered in the exercises. Then we talked and we like, oh, what should we do differently? We came up with pictures. We have someone in the, okay, yeah. We have someone, one of our member, a Canva educator who helps us with our design. We just tell her, Ma'am Zuleika, this is what we want, and we get the picture. Okay, carries, singular. Carry, plural. Can you see? Climbs, singular. Climb, plural. Right, singular. Right, plural. And that was how they got it right. When we got the next set of submission, it was amazing and interesting. So when you have issues, do not always think, oh, the children weren't serious when you were teaching them. Also look inwards. Do I need to change my style? Was I doing something? Was my style adequate enough? Do I need to change my style? Most times when you change the methodology, they tend to get it right. Then I told you already about merging the topics. You merge the topics, and I showed that by showing you the example of our presentation script, from pronunciation to clear diction, to elocution, to voicing, to punctuation marks. Everything was tested in one single presentation script. Also consider the interest and communication, and the interest and hobbies. The interest and hobbies. What do they like? What do they want to do? How can you now bring in those things that they like to do into your teaching strategy? And that is the end of the class. For those who would like me to work with their kiddies, you're asking, I don't have the time to do all this. I want you to work with the kiddies. I've seen your amazing results and I want an expert to guide me. I don't have the time. I do not have the skills. Where do I start from? You can help me work with your child by enrolling them in my online kiddie school. The online kiddie school is a school for children that are between 4 and 17, where I help them become amazing speakers, excellent writers, focused readers, interesting presenters. We do effective communication skills, presentation mastery, confidence building, creative writing, clear diction, and vocabulary building. Between 4 and 17, and we have 3 classes. We have the Jolly class. So if you have questions, type the questions in the chat box. Tomorrow we're going to continue. Yeah, it's 9:55. Tomorrow we're going to continue the session. If you have questions for me, if you have comments, do let me know. We have the Jolly class where from 4 to 6, we teach them basic things: reading, Jolly Phoenix, language games, grammar play, fun writing, presentation practice, word building. We also have the middle class public speaking, error-free writing, creative writing, clear diction, playwriting, vocabulary upgrade. These are the things we do in middle class. This period, high class will be in a different school while they also practice essay writing, standard writing, transcription, academic reading, and presentation mastery. And we always have subsidized plans during the holiday. If you want to join us, the best time is during the holiday. Aside from the fact that the fees are discounted, we also organize the holiday challenge because we now have a lot of children and they're also free. They mostly do not have anything to do. So we engage them with what they need to do every day till they resume school, from presentation to writing every single day and helping them improve. So these are the holiday plan. The list is 7,000 Naira. Really, really cheap for one child, 1 month. If you want to go further, we have a lot. You can just send kiddies to me via WhatsApp. Tell me who you want to enroll, the number of kids, and we will get into the discussion. We have Zoom sessions between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. From Mondays to Thursdays, activities take place in the WhatsApp group. So we've got an amazing number of people who joined in. Is a teacher. I appreciated the fact that you were able to touch a lot of important things like paragraphing, punctuation, use of letters. Amazing, amazing. Different parts of the world. Mambose Ojo, Jejiro. Wow, the class was quite impressive. I'm so happy. I'm not regretting for coming across this online. My son was equally happy. He said, "Mommy, thank you for this opportunity given to me to learn in a new dimension." He said, "This is one of the greatest investments on me." Mom, Amina, Mama twins. She brought in her twins and this was a review. They did get more value than we paid for. The fact that you took your time to rate and make corrections for each child is quite applaudable and shows you're really interested in impacting them. We have from this school owner. Amazing, amazing. So it is not what you enter and say what I order versus what I get. You will always get value. The most amazing thing is a lot of parents are even learning. They tell me, I ask them something and they give me an answer. And Mama, it means you learned this from the group. Of course, I'm also learning with my children. So aside from letting your children learn, you are also improving your communication skills as a parent. This is from our doctor. Since my daughter joined your class, this daughter joined us last year, July, and she spent 1 year in the online kiddie school. Now they kept subscribing every year, every month. You can decide to take the 1 month plan, the 4 month, the 6 month, or the 12 month. All right, so I am inviting you all to join the online kiddie school, and I hope you're getting value from this class. Tomorrow, join me, same time, 8:30 p.m. as we conclude our session on how you can make your children better communicators. Success at your fingertips. So if you want more information concerning this, feel free to contact me via WhatsApp, my WhatsApp contact, or Instagram, and you get all the details. You can take the screenshot of this page. Yeah, the screenshot of this exact page, not this page. And let's get started with your child's effective communication skills. Thank you and have a nice night's sleep. My name is Abdulbaqi Hassan, the lead tutor at Flying Colors Communications Academy.